Now he's lost in the hills of Tanchico City. One's not enough, and three's too many. And to bring a man to his knees. Hey! Hello. This is Oluchi from the Curvy Cauldron, and welcome to episode 3 of This Week at the Curvy Cauldron. What is going on, people? Let's see. I've been doing a lot of packing up old stuff and just putting away the things from the winter and bringing out the things for the spring and the summer. And yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. And also cooking. I made okra soup today. I made some chickpea salad. I also made yam and eggs. So I'm going to portion them out, and I basically cooked for the week. So portion them out, make sure it lasts for the week, I guess. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. Oh, and when I was packing up stuff, guess what I came across? This. Do you know the story of this? This scarf was a scarf I dyed by myself, and I dyed it with cochineal. Okay, so a couple years back when I traveled to Sausalito, I spent a birthday over there. I went there for my birthday. So I did a trip where I went to Napa Valley. I took the wine train, and after doing that, the next day I went over to Sausalito and I spent the remainder of the trip there. But anyways, one of the days I saw an Airbnb, a course, a class in Airbnb activities. It was in Mill Valley, and it was basically a scarf dyeing class that this woman was teaching. So I went for it. There were a couple other people that came over for the scarf dyeing class, and I think the lady, she said she soaked the scarves overnight in alum so that the colors could stick. But she was just basically teaching dyeing fabrics with natural dye. So yes, that was where I went and I dyed this scarf. And I'll find a picture of me dyeing the scarf and a picture of the ladies that came. We all displayed our scarves after the dyeing. This is the short description. Mashing the bug in the mortar and pestle, putting it in boiling water, and then putting the scarf in the boiling water to boil with the already boiled bug that has formed the carmine color. And then after it boils for a little bit, we let it sit, we take it out and strain it, and then this is the final um, result. Told you the scarves were already pre-soaked in alum. A lot of the process was the same for all of us, but depending on the dye you chose, she gave you some kind of modification that will help the colors stick. But yeah, this is the final result, and if you look at the other picture, you can see all of us posing with our scarves. All in all, 100 recommend, wonderful experience. Oh yeah. Oh, and in my book, Tasteful Hypocrisy, there's a poem there called Sunrise in Sausalito that just captures a snapshot of a morning in Sausalito, of just that morning sunrise, that beautiful morning sunrise in Sausalito. So make sure you buy my book, my poetry collection, Tasteful Hypocrisy. And that poem is in that book, and it's called Sunrise in Sausalito. So yeah, what else are we gonna talk about? I was gonna spotlight an article or an essay that I have on Medium, and I'll link it in this video. But it was basically a video, an essay breaking down mentorship and apprenticeship and mentors versus mentees. And I looked at it in terms of kingmakers versus kings and queen makers versus queens, and king makers versus queens, and vice vice versa. I looked at it, but while I looked at that, and I think this whole mentorship and mentee relationship, like mentor and mentee, and apprenticeship thing, is an offshoot of that kingmaker and queenmaker and kings and queens conversation. I focused mainly on looking at what complicates these relationships outside of just a mentor and mentee. So I looked at how family dynamics or familiar dynamics can complicate these relationships. And I also looked at how gender dynamics can complicate these relationships. And I think it's a really good, I have a part one and a part two. And I think it's a really good read if you're looking for a Sunday read or just a week read. It's like they're both 8 minutes read, 8 minutes articles, but I think there's something with that familiarity, both on the mentor side and on the mentee side, that really needs to be checked. And things that complicate these relationships, especially when it comes to family dynamics, you start to think of that TV show Succession, the Roys, and how difficult it was, or it is really, especially, well, number one, the family had a very toxic dynamic. But even without that, it was still difficult for Logan Roy to mentor his sons and his daughter Shiv, and just that, how that dynamic did not make for the best of that mentor versus mentee relationship, because turning that father-son relationship off, or checking it, or turning that father-daughter relationship off and checking it, it's you kind of enter a very hazy territory there. And also their family is very, very toxic, so it won't even work to begin with. But please give that article a read, both of them actually, and let me know what you think, either in the comment section or of this video, or in the comment section of the Medium article. Also, I'm trying to get to 1,000 sales on my book, Tasteful Hypocrisy. So if you haven't purchased that book, Mother's Day is coming up here in the US. Please, please, please don't embarrass your mother. I'm kidding. Please, please, please go and get a copy for yourself. And as you're getting a copy for yourself, get a copy for your mother. One of the beauty of this collection is how it centers women and womanhood and storytelling and intergenerational storytelling. So please make sure you purchase that book. I promise you, it is worth your time, it is worth your effort, it is worth your while, and it is worth your coins. So please, I'm trying to get to over 1,000 sales before the end of this year. So make sure you patronize me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and that brings us to the end of this week of before we go, who has been watching Wheel of Time? Any arrows, if any more arrows come towards Alana, we are sending them back to sender. Because what the hell? And what is going on? I'm so scared to watch the final episode. I am so scared. I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I am almost caught up with Wheel of Time. I am, let me see. I can't remember when exactly I watched. I just binged it, but I'm almost caught up. I'm very, 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 very tempted to read the books. I'm very tempted, but I'll let you know if I'm gonna read it or not. But anyways, make sure you read those articles on Medium, those essays on Medium, and make sure you buy my book. Also, my review for A Moment But Forever is already up, so please make sure you watch it. I love you. Mwah.